Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of Planetary's move. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And to be quite truthfully, I ain't here to do shit. Flight boss is here doing all that shit. So Dolo is here carrying out God duties and responsibilities. Dolo the Archangel motherfucking Uriel. You dig me? Now, we're gonna talk about right now, I don't wanna constantly, cause sometimes I conflate dimensions. So when I'm talking in videos, sometimes I'm talking from this dimension, then I'm talking from this dimension. And when you conflate dimensions, a lot of times it may seem like contradictions to people who may be stuck in one dimension. So, right now I want to solely talk about the third dimension right now. So when you hear me speak of God and things of that nature, understand it from a third dimensional perspective. I'm not talking about it as I'm talking about it like in my other videos as God in a ninth dimension and God in, you know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about it straight from third dimension right now and planets. Now, here's what scientists need to understand, and I don't understand, but I overstand why they don't assess this kind of knowledge and why they want to it's like they almost scared. As soon as they dive into these kind of areas, they call it pseudoscience and things of that nature. Like I want y'all to because I just recently came across some shit that's talking about some shit lightweight what I be talking about. And this is my first time coming across this shit. I even wrote it down. I want y'all to look at the Gaia theory and malign genital mutilation. Part of that religion. Now, the Gaia theory is about how Earth is a living organism, and the organs that's in it is what help it runs. And an organism isn't nothing but a system. Watch the word ism. Ism. Any word that got ism in it, I don't care if it's just the ISM. Any word that got an ism in it is correlated to a system. So it's a system. So you work in a system. You have a government system. Your body have a system. There's a economy system, ecosystem. It's all kind of systems. But how do systems keep running? Your job is a system, a business structure, right? How does it keep running? The employees. So the employees is is the organs. So you have certain organs. You have managers. You have the certain employees who may work this side of the office. You have certain employees who may take this certain emails. You may certain employees who may make the business plans and things of that nature. So where did you get that concept from? Where did you even get that concept from? And humans don't know no other way to work in life but that. So why take yourself out of the position of the planet you're in to make yourself think that that's not what you're actually that's not what you actually are? When if you break down each molecule and shit, it all correlates to the same shit anyway. Then now and then the malign MALIAN genital mutilation. Look that up too. And this is about don't think about the part about it, the story around it. Think about what they're basing the story off. It's basically about the sun being in a relationship with Earth. Now, I'm going to take it a little deeper because when you look at these things, the far as the information going to go, soon as it's going to reach a stop, then you're going to hear the person who's talking about it go on to talk about it like it's a theory or something that you can probably may take consideration on or not, but it's something that's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just they start talking about it like it's not something you need to be into, but this is something that was brought to your attention at one point in time. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these children books and all this shit is really the real shit. When you was a kid, you understood all this shit. It wasn't until you got older, started using too much of your left brain, started putting too much squares to circles. That means putting too much left brain onto your right brain without creating balance. You know what I'm saying? So your right brain is circle. your left brain is squared. So the circle is going to be the circumstance, the situation, right? The left brain is going to be analyzing the circumstance, analyzing the situation. And we lost balance there. And scientists then went way off to the left, to the point that they'd take the situation and get too logically invested. When you was a kid, you naturally blended both of these together. You thought it was simple. Jack and the Beanstalk, Sleeping Giant. These kid books, you thought this shit was simple. It was your imagination. But that was real. Why you think every time you need to learn something, right? See, I'm finna get to ninth dimensional real quick, because I'm a ninth dimensional being here. Why do you think you need to find out something? Why do you think every time you learn, because I deal with language, but I know that I ain't I. You see what I'm saying? So, every time you need to learn something, right? Why do you gotta find out, right? And listen, when you use a language in words, no matter what language you're using, the vibration frequency is always going to be the same. So whatever you're doing, it always going to be the same frequency, whatever that word is. Now, the word and who put meaning and reasoning and made the illusion appear to be another way, that's a whole different story. But the frequency is always going to be the same thing. And what I mean by that, now, why every time you have to learn something, right, or you want to know something, why is no other words to use but you got to find out? You got to figure out. Oh, I found out. Now, let's rise to my level. You actually found a way out of something. In a higher dimension, that's what that means. In this dimension, it's lower. So many lower densities and so many other ways of analyzing one thing. You'll look at it and, well, I just figured out something. But in my dimension where I came from, what that mean is you found your way out of something. See, I've been in a realm of reality of where it's beings that can't get out of themselves. You see what I'm saying? Your God can't get out of itself. Just think about it. Why every time you want to express something, or you want to do something, but you can't get it out, what happens? It causes frustration, right? So think about the frustration mechanism that's going on. Everything that's going on within your body based upon the ideas, feelings, and the thoughts. All those are mechanisms and organs and beings within you going to war. And through that frustration comes creation of other things. You see what I'm saying? But it's always within. So you see what I'm saying? It's almost like your God can't get out of itself. And the only way it can get out of itself by learning. Because learning is finding out. So you're finding how to get without yourself. Your God don't know how to get without itself. Your God then got confused to the point that it ain't got without within. This is the realm I be talking about when I say there's a without and a within realm. There's an external realm and an internal realm. You see what I'm saying? But the God you in don't know how to get out of itself. This is why all the beings within y'all God, because I don't agree on terms and conditions. I know I is not I, so I'm not having a full experience like y'all having a time y'all out of everything. You see what I'm saying? Dolo Flight Boss is doing this, so I'm already know I'm foreign in every realm of reality. So that's why I'm able to tell y'all that the God I just jumped in from foreign and to look at y'all highest perception and what y'all can't get out of it. Y'all God is like kind of can't get out of itself. It's kind of sleep. It's in a slumber. It's almost like y'all God is in a realm of reality of a group of other beings, but your God got knocked out. And it can't get out of itself. So it's having all these dreams and imaginations and shit. And it's almost like this is why you can't show people who you really are. What's the best way you can show somebody who you really are? By going within yourself and using your imagination to express this ego that you already in, right? But for the most part, you can't physically, in no shape or form, not even physically or your spirit, you can't go within, take yourself out of this, because you know you ain't this. You can't go within, take yourself out of this and be like, look, y'all, this is me. And this is how I can prove to y'all this ain't me. So it creates an illusion. But you need to understand that the God you in, this is why you got questions like, okay, why we can't see God? Why God not proving itself to God? It can't. That's the kind of being you in, because you can't. And you in the being. So then when we get back to 3D, this is what I'm going to get you to understand though. But I just had to, I love going all the dimensions though, because I've been through all of them. You know what I'm saying? The shit just be funny. You know what I'm saying? The reason why your God can't show you itself because you're within it. The same way you can't show somebody who you really are. And the best way you can show somebody who you really are is going within. So just think about that in the highest conscious. The being you are in, the only way it can express who it really is going within. But it's in a realm of reality where it's no without. It don't know how to go without, and it don't know how to express somebody without. So in so many realms of reality, it's a bitch ass motherfucker who's scared to express itself, and it's making itself think it's no one else around. So it might be a dormant motherfucker who always like going somewhere to itself, but it got knocked the fuck out. Listen, that's another fucking video. But y'all can build on that some other time. We're gonna get back to 3D. Now, 3D, the realm of reality in 3D. Now, look at it now. When we get to 4D oversouls, 5D oversouls, that's when it become the whole body. Same way all these mechanisms and organs and beings in you become the whole being as you, but that means you in a higher state of awareness. You can perceive more. So, case in general, you're in third dimension. So speaking from the only third dimension right now, let's talk about how you came here. And this is going to correlate even to my videos of how more darker shaded people came through the solar eclipse dealing with the sun, and more light shaded people came in dealing with the lunar eclipse and dealing with the you know what I'm saying, lighter shades. Now this the black and white name itself and how y'all correlated was due to the energy forces that y'all already put in that, and the attention that it was gonna get from the just the wordage of the names in general. So it's like shock value. So y'all, whoever have disagreements on those videos in general, at the videos that I made with the black people are sun guys and or moon guys, and the black white people are sun guys, things of that nature, you're gonna get confused. You get confused, and I'm just proving to you that you're in an illusion. So I'm outside looking in. I'm just proving to you that you're in an illusion, no matter how you look at it. Whether you look at that positive or negative, I'm showing the illusion. I'm not showing nothing. I'm just showing you the illusion that's built in between black and white, and those names, and black and white people, and all the contradictions and illusions y'all got up under it. Where we all the same. Same way you got red blood cells and white blood cells, but they're motherfucking cells. You see what I'm saying? So in 3D now, and this is 13 minutes in. So in 3D now, and it's going through a fourth dimensional process. So that correlates. You have to understand the whole reason in 3D you guys worship the planets. Now, every religion is correlated to a planet, and every religion is about how another planet or offsprings of the planets opposed or rejected in some type of way, or with their separate way. You see what I'm saying? That's what every religion is about. But when you all break it down, you have to understand it from a realm of reality of sex, or realm of reality of relationships. So it's a relationship. Just like someone can't rebel against you unless you were in a relationship with them in any kind of sort, with siblings, friends, mate. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time you become a rebellion. Otherwise, if it's somebody you don't know, you don't give a fuck what they doing, right? So once you take that out the equation, you know that whatever was done was allowed because it was a relationship between the two people. You know what I'm saying? So for you to pick sides off the back, you're playing into roles of yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? How you don't know what's going on in somebody's family. So how the fuck you gonna come in and be like, oh, I picked this person's side based upon the power that they got? You see what I'm saying? When it might have been a legitimate reason why this motherfucker wanted to get up and leave. Same way, females find reasons every day why they want to get up and leave a motherfucker. AKA, then, on the flip side, niggas find reasons every day to cheat on their girl or to be with their friends. So you have to understand that once you picking sides, it don't matter what religion you in. You got to understand things with common sense. You got to understand things from how the world is. And when you understand how the things the way it is, it'll all make sense. Now, when we want to talk about light, frequency, ideas, spirits, you know what I'm saying? Even the concept of it being your nut, your cum. You know what I'm saying? All this is the same shit. So when you when you take the sun and you take earth and you take organisms, and we all know what the sun is about. And I'm speaking solely from 3D right now. I'm not gonna say it's the mind of the overall being, because that's getting into 5D. You're not getting ready to go into a 5D body. You're getting ready to go into a 4D body, and everything is life within. You see what I'm saying? But it's the same shit on a larger scale, small scale. So if you're on a planet right now, right? Which means you're in the womb getting ready to take a planetary body, right? Now, you saying, okay, how does that make sense? You was in your mother, right? So when you was in your mother, you was getting ready to take a human form, right? You was getting ready to take a human third dimensional form. So after this, you're getting ready to take a fourth dimensional form, which is a baby planet. So as an oversoul, you kind of plan the second dimension again, right? So it's going to be a life because it's more life. It's a higher dimension, right? But it's really going to be like the same thing repeated when you was in your mother, right? So that's basically what you're doing now. But as you're this close to being an oversoul. An oversoul is just completely not having no body though. You know what I'm saying? And you're getting ready. You're taking that 9 months, which there might be like 9 million years or something like that, to form a body. But in that realm of reality, right? Say in the third dimension, say you get some high consciousness beings in the third dimension who's able to perceive physically an oversoul, like, but the totality of it, right? It's gonna look like a like spirit clouds. It's gonna look like how you look, electric clouds in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Or clouds in space. You know what I'm saying? That's what they are. But when you are one of them, you're really in like a womb getting and growing to be a planet. But you're already birthed. See, there is the birth stage is different. It's like you're gonna experience all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the birth stage here. Now let me run this down first. Now, like I said, when you was in your father, you was an idea, you was a thought. Once you became an overall idea thought with a group of other ones, boom, you came, you died. You died in that life. Then it came out of sperm. Then the transformation. Then boom. Now you experiencing the third. Now it's like, soon as your spirit went in something. That's your dad's sperm. As soon as it went into a womb, space, realm of reality, it turned into a soul because it's taking shape and form of the realm of reality is in now. Because that's like light. Now, on a larger spectrum, these conscious beings, you just see it as light. So what does light do? Light takes shape and form over the dark realm of reality is in. So I'm trying to give you the concept of what's really going on. So that's what happened. Sperm is light consciousness. As soon as it went in a female, right, it went into a realm of reality. So just look at it like this. Now you was an oversoul. You was the one vibrating. Your idea could become an overall idea through all the beings of you in the globe of your mother. That idea can become an overall idea if you know how to vibrate it. That's vibration, frequency, vibration. See what I'm saying? Frequency to spirit, then vibration. The more you know how to vibrate that energy, right, it'll resonate with the collective of the other beings to become one. This is like water. This is why fluid comes second. Because if everybody come one with that overall frequency, in your mother, it plays out like that's the overall emotions and feelings she feels. You see what I'm saying? So that's the one she's going to gravitate. So that's the kind of being she's going to have that she birthed here. But to you, you was an oversoul that had an idea of frequency, because you came from the frequency, and you vibrated it so strong that every other being resonated with it, right? So you was the overseer of that concept, right? To the point that you were so powerful, every being that was lower than you, who say you was the one, the sperm was the idea I could fly. So say your dad had the thought in his head that I could fly, boom. So you was the thought that I could fly. You became the overall idea because your dad always was thinking about flying. Boom, bust a nut, boom. That spirit, that thought, that idea, that sperm, that timeline of events went into a realm of reality. So it takes shape form of the world it's in. So whether flying is possible or not in that realm of reality or not, that's not the point. The idea of it is the point. Now you came in with that idea. So you a motherfucker, you a spirit with your spirit consciousness like, hey, we can fly, right? Now, the higher you can vibrate, aka feel that way, aka make that part of your emotions, express it, aka more people relate to it under that consciousness, right? The more people you get to thinking that they can fly, and the more people they start to feel like that, you originated that idea. So all the feelings and emotions, you have power over that. So you're vibrating the highest. So really, you're the only one who about to learn how to fly, but everyone under you now got the instructions of it's possible. So in their time, it may be more experiences in that realm of reality, but they still could get there also. But since you was the overseer of that, you're vibrating so high now, everybody relate to that. In so many mechanisms, you're an oversoul who created an idea that brought a large amount of people together, which made you so powerful. Now you're consciously aware enough to be formed, and that whole grouping of one can be formed and create the bigger body. Now, after that 9 months, your mother birthed you. Now you can see eye to eye to the actual big being you was just in. So now you in the third dimension because you went through the frequency, vibration, then the energy. Now we finna deal with the elements. Fourth dimension, 360. Third dimension is 360. Now we get the fourth dimension, 770. Not 7D, but 720. It won't be a 360 no more. It'll be a 720. The circle will be a lot bigger. Now you can see things clear. It looked like you there, but this is the kind of conscious awareness it is. You is there. So how you was seeing the planets and shit, you thought it was clear then? Once you get into a 7D vision, you have 7D eyes, you are there. It's gonna look like you, but you are. You get what I'm saying? So you get birthed into a planet. So all the beings within you and shit like that, they're gonna look at it like how you looking at it now in 3D. But you gonna look at it like, okay, I'm this now. But you gonna look at it like how you is now. I'm this now. I'm a human now. I don't agree to them terms and conditions, but like how you said. You know what I'm saying? Again, I as a human, I was everything. I experienced this everything. And if I never did something, I want to do it. And I'm gonna do it through you. See, but I ain't the flight boss. You see what I'm saying? Flight boss is in the presence. Flight boss is with me doing. With me and you doing. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about motherfucking the planets and shit, you know what I'm saying? You have to look at it like you're getting birth. You're in Earth. You're in a womb. So what's the most thing here? To vibrate the highest. Whoever get the most consciously aware and get everybody to accumulate on their vibration is going to be the first to pop out as a planet. So out this mother. So you have to think about it. The first ones who's going here is the ones who got the most collective conscious. So just think about, let's go back to oversouls. Who the strongest oversouls? We can't talk about people who in religion. We got to talk about the controllers of the religion. So whoever control the whole religion you in, these people are first to become a planet. Whoever control the languages you use, these are people to become the first planets. You know what I'm saying? The people who like the Illuminati or the elites, these people are just training to be they're not they just next after them. You know what I'm saying? They may have to be here a few other years. These are people you still see as humans and shit like that. They have to be here a few hundred years still with you. You know what I'm saying? Then once you start to develop access and you've been here for 100,000 years, you learn how to get in their position. You learn how to be one of the niggas who created a language. You learn how to be one of the niggas who created, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You learn how to be a grouping of niggas who created a worldview. You learn how to be one of the groupings of niggas who created a religion. Then after that, then you will be one of the next people to pop out as a planet. You see what I'm saying? But you got to experience here thousands of years, same way you probably did hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years of your mother. Same way you probably did hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years of your father. You wasn't one of the first. You probably acted as a cell, as an organism for thousands of years. Same way to your dad. Just look at it like your dad was just alive for 60 or 70 years. To you, that probably was trillions of years. Same way right now. You see what I'm saying? It's all about time and scale and spectrums. So right now, if you know you're in Earth, then you have to come to the equation that the sun is fucking Earth. The sun is in a relationship with Earth. Period. And these group of planets. Now I'm getting back to 3D. Now these group of planets that you gain most privy to, right? That you name the most: Sun, Moon, Earth. You know what I'm saying? Let's Gaia, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars. They're all in relations with each other. Now, if I was to jump into the fourth dimension, because I was a planet before, but in a conscious being of a planet, you're gonna have both sexes. You're gonna have a dick and a coochie, but everybody do. You know what I'm saying? But it's not seen that way here. I mean, it's not seen that way in the fourth dimension and in the fifth dimension when you get there. It's like just natural. The same way here in the third dimension, how you just have the one and the two dimension, and it takes both of those to become whole. It do that process again, but the one and two to become three as a whole is one. So then it does that process again with 4, 5, and 6 dimension. So those beings have the 1 and 2 dimension externally too, though. But the planet, their trials and tribulations is taking sides of themselves. See, they supposed to learn how to come more one with themselves. But it's just the natural laws there that some planets take more side to one energy than the other. And theirs is looked at as positive and negative. So if they was to come in 3D and you looked at it like they looked at it, but you're in your 3D dumbass mind to be like, oh, I can only have a dick, or I can only have a coochie. You know what I'm saying? In their perception, they look at you like you lack. In their perception, it's more that you can see the energy. You can see which one catered towards more than the other. So you would still call that a female. Even though I got a dick and a coochie, and in that realm of reality, it's like just the way they carry themselves. Everybody look the same, but it depends on how you vibrate. It depends on how you carry yourself. A planet may gear towards more of the feminine side, so that they only like to utilize their coochie aspects of their bodies. Then you have the other planets. If it's the planet that they'll be in a relationship with is the one that only like to cater towards the other side. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a lot of balanced planets. Those ones are more superior beings. They know how to not know, but in that realm of reality, it's different. Like, you got to understand. This is why you may have some gods here now in this third dimension that's drew out and they look like hermaphrodites, or they look like they both of the same sexes. You know what I'm saying? And like, but it's because it's doing the same thing just in a higher form. If you could get what I'm trying to say, they doing the 1, 2, 3, and they're all of that doing that again. You know what I'm saying? So it's based upon how they're vibrating and shit like that. Just like Venus. Venus gears towards more feminine. But Venus can jump into the negative. Venus can use a dick though. In that memory reality, Venus could fuck something with a dick. But Venus is like getting fucked more with Nakuchi more. But in that memory reality, that's what makes Venus a woman. You see what I'm saying? It's not looked at like how we look at it here, like, oh, you got a coochie, you are a woman. That's how we become one here. How they become one is in a whole different conscious awareness. Then once they get to 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, how they become one is in a whole different awareness and how they see it. You see what I'm saying? So here, you know what I'm saying, in the 3rd dimension, this is how we become one. But in this dimension, yeah, the sun is fucking everybody. The sun is doing what Usher is doing here. You know what I'm saying? The sun, this is what the sun be doing. The sun be fucking the sun be fucking all the genders, whether they take one on the side or the other. But it's not seen how you think it's seen. You know what I'm saying? You can't come down here doing that thinking like, oh, I'm a 4th dimensional being then, so I'm just gonna do that shit down here. No, that's not how the laws work down here. That's not how you gotta go according to how laws work. You know what I'm saying? To keep the life living. You got to keep the life living. And how the life live is through death. But you look at death like death is something like, and then you never come back. No. I don't even like using the word death because whoever created that word, that's why it's even looked at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Death is life. Like the only way something can live is through death. Like, what's a way I can explain it in y'all dimension? But not in y'all dimension. But it would make sense in y'all dimension. Okay, this is death where I'm from. But since y'all in 3rd dimension is so physical and y'all vibrating low also in fear and stuff like that, this is how y'all look at it. But I'm finna bring up the higher dimension what death is. Death is transformation. So what we would call death where I'm at and where I used to be at, because I'm where y'all at now. So I had to bring this to y'all. What we would call death is like transformation. So say you in a situation, say you had an idea about something here, right? You got an idea. And this idea that you've been doing, that you had been making you experience a line of events, been making you experience a timeline. Like say you've been getting worried about something, right? And you just constantly experiencing things that make you worry about that same thing. Like you've been in now when you transform that way of thinking, when you be like, all right, I don't want to think like that no more, so I don't give a fuck about that no more. I want to create this now, or I want to think about this now, or I want to do this now, right? That's death. A changing of idea. So in this memory reality, I can explain it to y'all like ideas that come to your head, but you don't cling on to it. That's like you killed the spirit because you didn't vibrate with it. You didn't cling on and add other ideas to that idea. You didn't make that idea powerful. You didn't make that sperm cell powerful. You didn't make that light powerful. You didn't make that light shine. You didn't express it. You see what I'm saying? You didn't make that spirit. You didn't align yourself with that spirit. You didn't let it use you as a vessel. So you killed it. You transformed it. You started thinking about something else. So that died. That died. But the moment you give it soul, you give it water, you give it emotions and feelings, you give it vibrate, you resonate with it, you give it life. So if it's a thought that you have, you resonate with it, you give it life. It's able to live. So just think about everything you're giving life to, you're giving charge to. It's real. Everything is for a reason. So it wouldn't exist if it wasn't real. It wouldn't have been there to give life to if it wasn't real. This is why when people are constantly trying to make you stop thinking about something, they're constantly trying to put death to things. So this is what the overall being is doing. But it's always trying to find out. So it's trying to get without. And the only way it can get without is by putting death to things. So you might die as a concept. Other things might die around you as a concept. But you got to understand that you still you. Just The concept of it died. You see what I'm saying? Just the same way God's still God, that thought and idea that he may have had died. So you're always going to be here in some way, shape, or form. But the shape or form is your choice. So if you choose to be a servant up under any mechanism, if you worship anything outside of you, that's a servant mentality. So that's what you choose to be. It doesn't matter what realm of reality or what illusion is here to make you cling to it. It is what it is. That was your choice. No matter how good that looked, it was your choice. Same way God is making a choice to find out. So if you're in a mechanism that's making you don't want to find out certain things because of how you look at it based upon whatever you're into, that's your choice. But you need to understand that God ain't doing that. And that's when you learn how to separate, well, whatever you're doing that's making you think you need to do that must not be the overall God. This is where common sense have to kick in now. This is where real shit have to kick in. This is where actual life have to kick in. So you really start to understand things. So you can worship the right thing. But, you know, I just went on some whole other shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop this motherfucking video. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.